Now we are. Hi, everyone. My name is Georgette Truan. I work for attorney Vincent Davis. Uh, I have my beautiful, beautiful, beautiful Stacy, my co-host today. As always, Stacy. Hi, Stacy.
Hi, Miss G.
And I have our beautiful guest, Amanda Lynn. Amanda, she was on the show. Well, she wasn't on the show, but she was commenting on the show yesterday. And I just wanted her as a guest with us today. And
Um,
I just want to hear what's going on, Amanda. First of all, what state are you? Is you don't have to tell us the state, but are you local or are you out of state?
I'm in Pennsylvania, and hello, beautiful souls.
Beautiful Pennsylvania. So, what's going on with you?
Well, like I had explained to Grace, I cannot actually speak as to my current experience due to legalities, but I actually wanted to bring up a situation that I was told from a friend of mine. And with this friend, so she apparently had gone to court. She lost her children. Now, I think, and this is not actually my case, I'm not using like third person speech or anything. This is a true case of a friend of mine who reached out to me that you guys actually know. Um, she had said she had gone to court, and in the courtroom, the judge had actually asked her questions that were extremely inappropriate in regards to doing a drug test.
Oh my God, I know who you're talking about.
Yes.
Okay, I know. I
So
know.
I do believe that this it concludes into the corruption process and everything that I was basically ranting about the other day. So my friend was in the courtroom and the judge had requested a hair follicle test, which she had no problem doing. She said, "Oh yeah, we could do my arms, my eyebrows. I mean, where would you like to pull?" He asked, "Do you dye your hair?" She does, so she said, "Yes, I do occasionally." He said, "Okay, well, we're live, so." How do I put this? He asked, not in this verbatim, it was actually in a very rude tone and in a very inappropriate manner. Do you have any hair? You know.
On your
So she's,
like on your private part. That's what he told her, and
yes. And
sarcastic.
she kind of looked at him
Mhm.
and kind of like, "Are you serious? I have to answer this?" Looks at her attorney, court appointed attorney, by the way. Court appointed attorney looked at her like, "Answer the question." So she answered the question, extremely embarrassed, of course. She felt very, dehumanized at this point. Answered the question, and he then told her, "Well, since you're so well groomed down there, I guess we'll just go with a toe test, which is where they actually rip the toenail out surgically to test it for substances.
Right.
It is illegal in 48 states. They cannot appoint you to do this. They cannot force you to do this either. So I don't know what this judge was thinking, but he did. He tried anyway. She didn't do it. But and she felt, very upset. She was very dehumanized. She felt embarrassed. She felt like she didn't matter. She said that it literally made her feel as if she was nothing.
She's
And
worse
the
than a
fact,
criminal, basically, Amanda.
go ahead. I'm sorry.
They treat her like worse than a criminal. That's how they treat parents. So,
Yes. And with this, not to mention, the court appointed attorney did not speak up for her. She told her to answer the question. There were, I want to say, at least five other people in this room. The person who was taking notes, she had opted to walk out of the courtroom at this point, which I found to be a little odd because court did not adjourn. She was not there to take the notes and type everything down. It was her attorney, the father's attorney, and I believe, the officers, so on and so forth, and the judge. Not one person spoke up for her and said, "Excuse me, judge, this isn't appropriate. We cannot say this. You're sexually harassing this woman." You commented not only on her genitalia, but required her to answer a question that, number one, is not your business, and number two, goes against her constitutional rights as a person and a civilian of our country. You can't ask people sexually harassing questions in a courtroom. But he did, and he got away with it. And you know what the DA's office told her? Because I told her, I said, "Call the DA's office." You know what they said? "Oh, well, I don't think he did that, so." Oh,
Oh
so we're
my
not
God.
going to do an investigation. We're not going to pull the court records. We're not going to pull the recordings of the courtrooms. That's what we're not doing. The corruption in this country, particularly my state, is an abomination. It's everyone covers everyone else. And you know what her attorney told her when she said, I want a new judge, make him acquit himself? You know what she told her? Oh, well, if I would, then I would upset the judge. So I really don't feel I should do that because then that could affect my future clients that might have this judge. What? Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot. You eat lunch together. So, you wouldn't want to do that with it. You don't want to jeopardize that, right?
Oh my God. Oh my God. I know who you're talking about.
Yes.
And
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I know who. I don't know if I should say her name, but it starts with an M that called me and told me. Um,
This woman's name starts with an S.
no, the one that told me about the story. The woman
Oh,
that
did somebody else have the same story?
I hope it's the same person. I hope it's not more people like that.
Well, this person's name starts with an S, as in Sam.
Right, but the
That's
other
not her
one,
name, but it starts with an S.
no, the other one that called me starts with an M.
That's more than one person.
Yeah. So
Oh,
basically,
that's gross.
different state. It's not Pennsylvania. This one is
Mm-mm.
yeah.
This is like
Mm-mm.
this is like illegal search and seizure to a whole other level.
Yep. It is
Yeah.
very illegal. But the thing is, the court reporters don't write what the judges say, though.
No, of course they don't. Why? Because they're a part of it. Why
They
would they? They'll lose their job.
they would lose their job. Actually, in family court, they changed the whole dynamic of the court reporters. We used to get family court reporters in all hearings. Now you have to pay for one because the judges were pissed off. I guess I don't know why they did what they did, but one reporter told me the judges were pissed off because one reporter wrote exactly what the judge said.
Well, I looked up this judge that's currently appointed to the bench for family court, and it turns out he initially was not on family court. He was of a higher court for criminal. He was pushed down to the family court. You have to serve so long on a family court judge in Pennsylvania to then be able to move up to criminal and other aspects of the judge. The judge's benches and tables and appointmentship and being elected and so on and so forth. He has violated so many people's constitutional rights. It's ridiculous. And he is still sitting on a bench. And the worst part of it is no one in our judicial system in our area cares. They're allowed to say and do whatever they want.
So
No one questions them.
when are they going to implement drug testing for judges? And if they
You're so funny.
Manscaped, he submits his pubes.
Like, and if anything, okay. If that's what you really wanted her to do, that is not up to you to even ask her that question. She could have gone to the hair follicle testing, the drug testing facility, and they could have asked her,
Yeah, but
where would you like us to take the sample?
let's do empathetic training here though and teach these judges what it feels like to be asked for illegal search and seizure of their own.
Oh, 100%. I mean, honestly, when she told me this, I was absolutely appalled. And, you could hear it in her voice just how devastated and, I mean, literally the only word that it is dehumanized. Like, what?
Miss G, have you ever heard a stupider story?
I've heard worse. I've actually heard of worse. A judge one time, and I can't say the state because I don't know if Davis wants me to say the state, but they the woman had a hoop thing on her thing
Top or bottom?
top and
Okay.
two things on the top, and
Mm.
he asked her if she had any piercing anywhere in her body, and she said yes, and he said where, and she said it's private, and he said I'm telling you to tell me where. I'm asking you
Hmm.
to tell me where, and she said, you know, my private, my girls, something like that. And he said, so you're putting hoops on your daughters like that? Like he was being sarcastic, and
What?
yeah,
Yeah.
and he said, well, I don't have daughters, I only have sons, right? And then the judge said, might as well do that too. like that. And then she said that he wanted to know. He still insisted on knowing, and none of the attorneys even looked at him, at her or him. They were like straight dead to the wall. They were like
Yeah,
silent.
because they don't care. They're
Yeah,
all paid to keep their mouths shut because the more that you get a court appointed attorney, the more that you're not paying for a real legitimate attorney to go against these people.
I agree with you. And the thing about it is, people don't understand in America, the ones that don't have to deal with CPS, is that they're literally are corrupt, literally corrupt. I sent an email
Sure are.
to Stacy about an attorney that wrote something about fact checking CPS, and she was totally siding with them. Did you read the email, the article she wrote, Stacy? No.
No, I guess not that one.
Okay, yeah, she was fact checking them, and literally said that the DCFS have the right to get into your home without a court order. She said
No, they
they
don't.
have the right to. They have basically given the right from the federal government and the state to do whatever they want. And then I sent Stacy a video of a CPS attorney trying to convince 3 appellate judges that it's okay for a social worker to lie against the parents. So basically, and those federal judges were pissed off, or appellate judges. I can't remember if they're federal or appellate, but they were mad.
I saw that one, Miss G.
Yeah, but
I know that case too. That's
yeah,
your friend Sean McMillan's case, I think.
yeah, it is Sean McMillan's case. And but the thing about it is, it's not okay. But this attorney is defending CPS, saying it's okay and it's not against the law. It's not, because she said, I'm getting tired of parents saying that CPS is breaking their rights, or violating their rights. And I'm like, they are violating their rights. I want to meet that attorney, actually. I would love to meet her, because I would love for something to happen to her and her family. I would literally tell her off in her face, because she's uneducated. She's the dumbest being there is. And the reason she's dumb and stupid at the same time is because she doesn't know what the fridge she's saying. And either she's a CPS attorney or she's not. I don't know. But I didn't get to the article depth in the article. But either way, anyone that defends CPS justifying what they're doing to parents, to me, they're scumbags. There's absolutely no justification for that.
I agree.
You should lie to her. I mean, if she can lie, you can lie, and you should say you work for HHS and you're investigating if CPS caseworkers can lie.
Okay, I could do that. I can actually do that.
Except you'd probably get in trouble for impersonating an officer.
Yeah, you could do that.
But they can lie.
Yeah, I can. See, the thing is, you can do so much that they do, but if you do it, you get arrested. When they do it, they don't get arrested, or even getting held. You can't even hold them accountable. They don't even get fired. That's the easiest job there is.
They get promoted.
They get promoted. I mean, I would love to lie and get promoted for it. It never happened.
What would be the most fun lies you could tell, Miss G?
Huh?
What would be the most fun lies you would tell? I mean,
The
if it's
horrible lies
legal,
I would tell?
I mean, if it's legal, there's a lot of artistic liberty there.
Well, even when it comes to, the fact of them trying to come into the home without a judge's order, it's point blank, period. When it comes to the Constitution, it is, I believe it's the 14th Amendment, if I'm not mistaken, that there is a due process. You cannot just come into someone's house.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's several, right? Because it would be a illegal search and seizure without a warrant, and
it's to order or terminate the suspended parent's right to custody of her minor child when they try to take the children without having a reason to. It's without confirming the due process requirements. It's of the 14th Amendment, Isabel versus Bellino.
And due process is 5th and 14th, I believe.
Exactly. So, I mean, I feel so badly for these people because they're literally letting them in their door because they tell them, oh, well, we need to see your house. I need to come in. Or they'll say it's cold outside. And they'll say, oh, it's so cold out here. Can we go inside? And then you feel bad. So you let the people in, anything that they can do to get into your home. When in actuality, they're violating your amendment to the constitutional rights. And people just let them in because they assume they have to. No, you don't. Without a warrant, or a signed judge's order, they do not need to enter your home. They do not need to see your children. They do not need to speak to them. They are civilians that took a civil service test. That's it. They have no authority.
A lot of times they're hired from like places like Walmart. I mean, no shame to Walmart, but it's just not pertinent.
I mean, they have no authority, and people don't know that. They have none. They have no authority to come onto your property and tell you and demand that they need to see your kids or they need to come into your home. No, you don't. Where's your court order? Oh, you don't have one. Why? Because you have no case right now. You're trying to build one.
Mm-hmm.
And you're going to use no matter what you see or what my children say against me.
That's why
to do
history
it.
always says, if the CPS knocks on your door, don't talk to them and call your attorney, because what you're saying is right. But so many people, they just open the door because they're scared and they talk.
Well, not only that, CPS acts like their friend. Well, we would like to, we'd like to close this. And we had, they call them a referral in Pennsylvania. We had a referral and it stated this. We just wanted to come out here and speak to you, get your side of it, da-da-da-da-da. And they act so sweet and so nice until they slam you with an illegal investigation and take your child from you. And then you find out 4 months later that they're sorry and it was a miscommunication.
Oh my God.
I always feel like there's, like Miss G always says, the CPS workers are just evil and demonic. And I always believe if one is just nice to your face, he or she is just being that way because they know what they're doing is so evil and wrong that they're just trying to act nice so that you don't treat them the way they deserve to be treated for what they're doing. I'm
sorry, but if somebody's coming onto my property, I don't know you, first of all. So I'm going to defend myself and my property, not to mention my children, whomever may be present. I don't know you from Adam. I don't care if you have a badge around your neck. How do I know you're not a serial killer that fooled the system and changed your name and your birth certificate and now you work for CYS trying to take my son or my daughter or, say I have guardianship of other children? Like, I don't know you.
There's been stories of that, of people impersonating CPS caseworkers as a plot to kidnap children.
CPS is doing what they're doing because they're trafficking children.
Yeah.
Thank you. It is completely 100% S trafficking, and that is my honest to goodness opinion.
Yeah.
I think about this too, Miss G. It goes through my mind a lot, but we were talking about this last night with Vince Davis. The United States has done a lot to earn the title of the world's the number one hub of child sex trafficking in the world. It takes a lot to earn that title. That's not some deviant person here or there. This is abhorrent hiring practices and deliberate sex trafficking of our kids. It's deceptive.
I fully agree with you.
People are handing over their kids to people that they think are obligated to, or they're the help or something. No, they're the traffickers. This is where it's at, how we earned this title in the whole wide world. People are confidential.
But sorry, Stacy, real quick.
No,
people are using the picture that back then CPS was not like this. But back then, I'm talking about when we were kids. Well, I'm older than all of you guys. But when when I was a kid, I'm in my mid 50s. When I was a kid, I'd never heard of CPS, and teachers never even talked about CPS. I've never seen a social worker in my life until later on in life. I discovered CPS, and I'm like, who are they? So CPS nowadays, we're talking about teenagers are handling it. We're talking about a supervisor is 21 years old. And the only reason she became a supervisor is because she took so many kids. That's pretty much it. And she lied for a previous supervisor. That's
job performance.
Yeah, that's all it is.
How many kids you kidnap is your job performance evaluation.
Yes, that's all it is. That is actually just like cops. They have to give tickets at the end of the year. Like I said yesterday, they have to give so many tickets at the end of the year. Guess what? They have to do it.
It's the CAPTA. It's the Child Abuse Prevention and Treatment Act. Child abuse prevention, and what was the T for? What's the T in CAPTA?
I'm sorry, what?
CAPTA, C-A-P-T-A, Child Abuse Prevention. And what act? What's the T? CAPTA, Miss G. That's what gives the Title IV federal funding.
I know. I forgot.
Isn't that funny?
I know, right?
It's like the bane of our existence, but let me look and see.
CPS,
Child Abuse Prevention and Treatment Act. Okay, so I was right when I rattled it off. It just didn't feel right. But that's what created the Title IV federal funding that incentivizes the snatching of children by the states.
Yeah, the Treatment Act part. The Treatment Act part.
It was 1974. And then the Clintons added the Title IV federal funding that incentivizes the kidnapping of children.
But the treatment part, it should be for the parents.
Right, but it's not.
It should be for the parents. But what they're doing is they're making the money, the funding go into foster home because
Correct.
the only way to receive the funding is if the child is in foster care.
Correct.
That's pretty much it. And the child needs to be in foster care when there's imminent danger involved, meaning burns on the child's skin, bruises everywhere.
And there's been a whole exhausted search of a suitable family member.
Yeah. And that's, yeah, exactly. Exactly. Yeah. Amanda, go ahead, honey.
I said, ha.
Yeah. They circumnavigate that whole exhausting search for a suitable family member because CAPTA, the Title IV federal funding, there's no cap on funding that goes to the states when they place children into foster care, but there's a cap on the amount of funding states can receive if they keep the children in a family.
There you go. And I've been saying, it's amazing. It's amazing. It's amazing. All I'm telling you guys is that they will go around your rights so many times to the point where they exhaust you that you don't want to fight anymore. I kid you not.
And that's the other thing. People always claim, oh, well, they're allowed to do things. Family law and criminal law are completely different. No, they're not. The only difference is they can use hearsay, but they still, at the end of the day, in a court, need to prove their hearsay is correct. And it's not them making it up. For instance, they can't go to a child and a child says A, and in the courtroom, they say the child said B, because that child will be pulled. The child will be asked, whether it's in judge's chambers or it's in the courtroom, depending upon their age. So they don't do that. Instead, the judges and all the people work together so that they don't have to actually do anything when it comes to having evidence and substantiatory evidence to prove taking the children is the best interest of the child. They don't have to. They all work together to make their case. I know someone, an illegal, 100% determined illegal investigation was conducted on their family. Determined illegal by a detective of a police department. And they still proceeded to try to charge this individual with child abuse.
Hey, Amanda, I hate to interrupt you, but I'm gonna have to say something to Paul, and I want you guys to read it, both of you ladies, and maybe.
Yeah, I was wondering what that was about.
Yeah, that was he said, or it could be a she. We don't know. Hey guys, sorry I'm late. Are we on how big is too big for her? I heard small is okay. It's just how you use it.
Not for anything, Miss G. Hold on, I would like to address this one myself.
Disgusting person, and we should be
hold on.
Right now.
I'd like to address this, Miss G, because I took Latin in high school.
Mm-hmm.
Paul means little.
Wow.
Just saying.
Little Peters.
Maybe he wants to submit his pubes for drug testing too.
Look what he said. Look what he said. The one in the glasses looks like a detective from 1940. I wonder, is she single? Now, Paul, if I was single, sweetheart, I wouldn't be looking for you. Okay?
God bless you, Paul.
He needs a detective with a pair of tweezers.
Yeah, that's what you need. A pair of tweezers.
To find it.
Find it. Little Peters. That is so disrespectful. And honestly, you're you're disgusting, and you could be a she or a he because there's so many haters out there. We don't know who it is, but either way, get a life, dude, or do that.
The
Get a
thing is,
life.
even about the subject of CPS, DFS, DYS, CYS, whatever you want to call it, however many initials you want to give it, it doesn't matter. The point, and to the whole situation, you will not understand until you experience it yourself. And that is the major problem. And most people will not experience it because they don't have people in their lives who want to get back at them. 96% of all referrals are done in retaliation against the mother, father, guardian that has a child because someone else did something to them or they did something to someone else, and it is all retaliation.
Yeah. And but you know what? You know what I've noticed too, Amanda, that social workers and judges and court appointed attorneys and district attorneys, yeah, anybody in law, um, they judge you based on their own upbringing
And their opinion.
and their opinion. So basically, if they had a bad mom, or they had a bad dad, or they had a bad this, they will judge you as they had, like you are their mom. You were their
You,
mom,
you know,
or
Miss
you were
G,
their
our
dad. Am
guest
I right?
list,
If you're the abuser, that's what I
our
believe.
our guest yesterday, I think he said it well when he said, "Hurt people like to hurt people."
Yeah, hurt people like to hurt people.
They
Unfortunately,
really do, and it's so sad. I really wish they would be in alignment with themselves. If they were in proper alignment with themselves, the universe, and God, they wouldn't feel the need to try to reach out and hurt others.
no, they
And
wouldn't.
even when it comes to the children and the child trafficking that you guys were discussing earlier, I tried to stay quiet. I don't like to interrupt people. It's a matter of fact of this. If you look up in just my state alone,
Mm-hmm.
numerous children, unfortunately, were murdered because of the lack of due diligence within the CPS system and them doing their jobs properly. They
Right.
ignore the children who need help, and they take the children who don't need help and who have adequate parents.
Well, the reason I think you watched the show when I said this in the show, um, the children that needs help, they're damaged to them. So
Exactly.
basically,
They don't want them. They want the ones that are in, quote, good condition and good mental health, and they're taken care of. They're taken to see the dentist and the doctor. They get their checkups. They eat properly. They're not sickly, da 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 da. And they take them so that why they can adopt them out because they make more money as long as they sit in foster care. I had someone whose children sat in foster care for, I think she said like 10 months and still going. And this woman was never charged with anything criminally. They never gave her an option in the very, very beginning. I believe, she was on substances, if I'm not mistaken. They never gave her an option to do an in-home plan where the children could stay with her. It was an automatic, we're taking your kids and you need to do an outpatient program for drug use. Okay, how is that what's best for the children? Do you not understand the trauma you are causing to these kids? And then when they are returned, God hopes they're returned to their parents. When, the parents aren't terrible parents, they're so damaged. And you just completely eliminated that familial bond.
there's a client that we have. We have a lot of clients who are fathers and a lot of clients who are mothers, so it's equal actually. The fathers who are the victims of CPS are the ones who never did, like the kids were harmed when they were not in their custody, meaning the mother had them.
Yep.
And that really hurts me to my, like, it makes me just angry because as you guys all know, I loved my dad dearly, loved him so much. He was my hero in every sense of hero. And I couldn't imagine
Oh,
life with my mom and dad. My mom was my best friend, my dad was my hero. So basically, if I wanted comfort, my dad would comfort me, but not the same as my mom. Like my mom would hug me and give me that bear hug. My dad was more like, if somebody pissed me off, I go to dad, that type of guy, or but he was always there for us. Like I can't imagine children growing up with their dad and their mom. So it, to me, in my heart, it breaks because some fathers are actually good fathers. They're great
Yes,
dads,
they are.
and they did nothing wrong to their children for the love of God. And then the social worker would tell those nice dads, "Well, you married her, like you knew all about it." No, he didn't know. Why would a man marry someone who's evil? Unless
Yep.
he's evil, unless they're both sociopathic, narcissistic idiots. To me, he no, just like a woman marrying a narcissist, they blame the woman. You should have known. No, how would the woman know she got involved with a narcissist? Oftentimes, people don't even know what a narcissist is. It's they blame you for making decisions, but yet they're not
Hmm.
the other party for damaging the child, the mother or the father that they had in their custody, right? So what I see, some mothers, they have boyfriends and they trust them with their kids. To me, I choose not to date until my kids are in college, something like that, right?
Right.
You don't know who you're facing out there. Um, there are some dads who have girlfriends who does bad things to their kids, his kids. So it goes both ways. So bottom line is this: when the non-offending parent was not in the home, why are you punishing the non-offending parent, regardless
Exactly.
of women or men? Why? Why that I don't understand. Because this father's been fighting for his daughter. He loves her so much. He cries to me like almost every day. That man spends so much money on her, and they bring her back with really bad clothes. And the clothes that he buys her, I wish I was a kid to wear them. My dad didn't even buy me that stuff that he's buying her. I told you guys I've been waiting for my George pants for years. Over 30 years I've been waiting. But what I'm saying is that he's loving her so much, and he wasn't the one who got the child hurt. It was the mother's boyfriend, who's most likely a sex offender, because he looks like crap. He looks like poop. Like literally, I would not sit next to him in a bus station. Okay, that's how bad he looks. And the mother has her daughter sitting with him naked, and he's naked, and there's only a blanket over them. Like, what is that? Of course, the father would
Whoa.
sit. My dad would have done some damage if that was me. Okay, what I'm
Hmm.
saying is, what father wouldn't be upset? Give me one father who actually would not react to this bullshit, right? Seeing his daughter next to a boyfriend of the mother who's naked, literally.
That's just disgusting.
We had as a guest, what was it, last night?
Mhm,
And if what she says is true, they took her kids into foster care because somebody reported her for not making pediatrician appointments.
mhm.
And when the investigation came, in fact, she had made all the pediatrician appointments. And this was a child with special needs that had appointments all over the place. And so then they switched from that to, well, you were a victim of domestic violence in your past. And this was even before the kids were alive. And they're still not giving her kids back to her. Why, Miss G? Because, like you said, they're babies and they haven't been exposed to harm. And so these are good babies that they want to steal and adopt out.
Exactly.
Oh
And
yeah,
that's
100%. And that's the other thing too. The accusations change like 6, 7 times during an investigation. It's never the original.
and the sad part is that they do that through through nurses. So basically, I'll give you an example. My girls, the ones that resigned from DCFS in California, they showed me a text message where the supervisor is texting the social worker, the person, them, and they're saying that the supervisor said, "Go to the hospital. The nurses are already. There's a newborn that needs to be placed in this adoptive home, foster home, and the nurse will explain everything to you." Okay, we got a word from the nurse. So basically what it is job security, like I told people. And the job security is literally reporting innocent people because they can't afford an attorney. And oftentimes, if you recall to yourselves, moms out there, if you recall to yourself in the hospital, you get a random person not wearing uniform, a nurse uniform, and they have like a chart with them, and she starts asking you questions like, do you have food? I mean, do you have diapers for the baby? Are you working? What do you do for a living? What would you do when you go home with the baby? All kinds of questions. Why? Why are they asking that? Think about it for a second. The reason they're asking that is because they want to make sure that you can't afford crap. So that way they can come after your baby. If you tell them you're a CEO for Charles Schwab, or that you're the head of the department in the entertainment, Sony, whatever, you're a producer, you're a right, whatever, you have literally, you have money, you know, they'll leave you alone. They'll smile at you and say, "Oh, that's great. Oh, I love, love, love that. That's great." They walk away. But
You
if you're
know,
not, go ahead, Stacy.
I'm a physician assistant and I've never worked in a pediatric hospital,
Mhm.
but I do know, as a matter of fact, um, in Buffalo, New York, which is where I'm from around, that our children's hospital does have an office for CPS in the basement. So they keep them right in the building. And I know that they don't have them so necessarily through the nighttime, but they're there in the daytime in their office,
Yep,
right
they're
there on
there.
the spot.
They're there in the daytime and nighttime in California. So we have also in all the pediatric hospitals, we have an office just for CPS. And I know that for a fact, because I've seen the text messages. My girl's visiting me you know, for another couple of days. So she's staying with me, one of them. And she showed me a lot of stuff, a lot more things. So the point I'm trying to tell you guys is that don't think you're talking to a nurse when you're in the hospital. You're talking to a social worker already, but they're not going to introduce themselves as social workers. They're not going to do that. And the reason my girls are terrified and every other one that resigned is terrified is because they have family. They will attack their family. That's what they were told. And the government is in on it. The government is in on it. It's kind of like, have you guys ever watched the movie Burn Notice or something like that? Or Burn Notice? Is it Burn Notice? Or there's a movie about how they're watching you everywhere and you can't escape and they know your every move. What's the name of that movie? It's about the government. Amanda, do you know?
Honestly, I'm not sure. I don't really watch a lot of television.
Oh, okay, it's a movie I've seen a long time ago when I was in my in my older teens. But it is a very interesting movie. This movie came out a long time ago, like I said, and now I see the light. I see it more and more happening right now. Social workers that resign are afraid to speak. They're terrified to speak. If they're terrified to speak, that means it's worse in the department. If they're terrified to speak after they leave, if they're terrified to speak that much, then how was it really in the department? Are you dealing with the mafias? Is that what it is? Because that to me is only a mafia would say that. The Godfather, even the Godfather had more mercy than the social workers do. I like the
They
movie
don't
The Godfather.
care.
Yeah,
In my personal opinion, I believe that the police should do their job and they shouldn't exist. I don't believe that CPS, DY, whatever, so on and so forth. I don't feel that they're needed because they're not. At the end of the day, they need a court order, which is assigned by a judge. At the end of the day, the police need to come if they remove your children because they need to be there to assist. At the end of the day, a detective from a police department is the one who conducts the actual investigation against the parents. CYS is not needed. CPS, DFS, whatever. They're not needed. You are not of the law. You're just a person with a badge who took a civil test, who passed it, who goes around to people's houses knocking on doors asking, "Hey, is your kid safe? Is your kid fed? Does your house adequate? Is it nice?" Like, what? You're
We
nothing.
we had a father on the other night. What hope is there in the world when the courts are dictating what room in your own home that the children sleep in? because his kids don't have TVs in their bedroom. So all of his kids pull their mattresses out into the living room and they sleep there. And they're young kids. It's not like you have like an 18-year-old and a 2-year-old. They're all kind of similar age. And the judge took away the father's overnights because, oh, that's concerning. So what hope is there in the world if the government is dictating what room your children sleep in your own house? Or they're going
and here's the thing.
overnights?
I was listening to that last night, and it got me so infuriated because here's my point. Who's to say those children aren't confiding in each other and they feel safe from the outside world when they sleep together because now they're sleeping in numbers. They were traumatized by CPS being involved with their family. So now they sleep together at night because it makes them feel better. It makes them feel comforted to be with each other. They don't want to be separated.
Yeah, you're probably spot on because there is the threat of these entities dividing them and their siblings.
But
if I'm not mistaken, I believe he had 10 children. So who's to say that they're not going to be picked off one by one?
Amanda, it's a blow-up mattress, he said. I talked to him after the show, me and Stacy, and it's a blow-up mattress.
What is the problem? Like, I don't see the problem here. Like, children like to sleep together. I mean, especially their ages, they're all so close in age. They're each other's best friend.
So
if it makes them comfortable, thank you. Like what? And not to mention the overnights are removed. Why? What about during the day? That doesn't count.
Right. And so what safety measure is that, right? So say like he was a dangerous dad and there was imminent danger. How is taking away overnights keeping any children safe? So
yeah, what's that doing? That doesn't make sense.
The more likely situation is he's a good dad. It's a good family. The kids all get along and they just took away overnights from a good person.
And they just think it's weird. So in their opinion, not under law, under no laws, it's just their opinion, it's weird. So, you know what? We're going to remove your right to the overnights because I personally, in my opinion, think it's weird.
And then on top of that, everyone in the courtroom was like, well, I'm busy on that return date. I have a commitment. So it kept going out and out and out. And so these children are removed from their overnights with their parent, and it's to everyone's schedule when they reconvene about the issue. Now,
you know why they're removed to the overnights? Because they want to be able to get those children to slowly detach from the parent.
And each other.
Yep, 100%. That's what they're doing. They're going to separate them, put them in foster care, and adopt them all out.
No, the children are with the mother who made all this happen. See, that's the bad part. What the mother doesn't understand is CPS is going to turn against her too.
Correct.
Oh, of course they will. If they haven't already. It's like this one case I was talking to a gentleman in this area as well. So basically what happened, a rundown, an issue occurred at the home that he lived in with him and his girlfriend and his children. He immediately took the children to his sister's house with himself, removed himself from the situation, broke up with the girlfriend, who was the mother. He called CYS himself. He called them to tell them what was going on. He had to do with sexual activities between the children and for not, photos and things like that. He removed the children from the situation, went to his sister's house. CPS demanded they see those kids that night. They had to see them within 24 hours. I said, no, they don't. Tell them, no, you will get back with them. Your children are in bed. It is 9:30 at night. They are tired. They just had dinner. Their whole world was just shaken up because they had to leave the house. They're at you're at your sister's house. They're perfectly fine for the night. You will call them in the morning. He did. Next morning comes. Didn't hear from them for 3 days, but it was imminent that they talked to him that night in 24 hours since they got the call. What? Okay. So that's fine. We'll disregard that. He found other housing options, moved into his new house with his children. He still has the 2 kids. He filed for sole and physical custody of the 2 boys. And CYS shows up at his new home's door and says, well, we need to speak with your kids. And he said, why? Well, we have allegations that you were apparently giving the other children involved at your old home alcohol. Oh, so the first accusation was because I called you. There was an issue with my child. I wanted you to investigate. But now you're coming to me because the person I called on is telling you that I did something wrong. First of all, You have to see my kids because I'm being accused of giving older children that are not mine alcohol. What does that have to do with his children? The whole situation was the dumbest thing I have ever heard.
Yep.
And the
And
best part was when he told him, no, you're not coming tonight. My children are in bed. The CYS caseworker said, oh, okay, well, I'm just the on-call caseworker, so you'll have a new caseworker reach out. No, you're not the on-call caseworker. What happened was you got scared because he knows his rights, so you're going to send someone else who you think is a veteran at it.
yep.
Miss G, I think we need to keep a dry erase board and start keeping track of some of the dumbest jackass decisions from judges.
I honestly think there's a link I also sent you via email, suing the federal government.
I saw that. I didn't watch the whole thing. I've seen it around because it's been circulated.
Yeah, suing the federal government, and the stuff that he broke down, is exactly what's going on right now.
Which is right. I don't know what's in the video, but like again, I go back to the CAPTA thing and the hiring practices, right? So under the Child Abuse and Prevention and Treatment Act, our social services are supposed to employ diligent hiring practices for who they employ to take care of vulnerable children. And clearly, if there's this massive child sex trafficking going on, that's a breach of the CAPTA contract, that they are not employing their diligent hiring practices, and they are in violation of these federal laws. But when it goes to the next level, that the federal government knows this is going on and they still keep sending the money to the states despite them being out of compliance with the contract, now the federal government is liable for this massive hiring of child sex traffickers working for CPS. I mean, that's just one thing I see without having actually watched that video, but that's what's going on, and our federal government should be sued for this.
They should be sued for this, but because they know what's going on, though. See, the thing
Right.
is, they
Well,
say
it's in their reports. It's
if
in
you really
the
think
reports.
about it, if you really think about it, that those judges in that video that I sent you, if this happened once, is way too many times. That's the way I look at it. If
Right.
it happened once, is way too many times. Because if it happened once, and I mean, not once, but if they did this hearing one time and they heard what the attorney, CPS attorney, was saying, they should know better. They should know this is continually happening.
So,
Continually happening.
but then I referenced the yearly reports from our U.S. Department of State, which is the federal government, and they do reports on human trafficking throughout the world, and they publish this yearly. And they put in their own reports the acknowledgement that the majority of children who are sex trafficked in the United States come from foster care. So they're so close to just boldly admitting that they know they're sending federal funding to the foster care system when they are the traffickers. So that's aiding and abetting child sex trafficking in our country, which makes the U.S. government, the federal government, liable.
What do you think about that, Amanda?
I mean, honestly, at the end of the day, it's all intertwined with each other, all the way from the very, very top to the very, very bottom. Think about it. So, if you think about those who are in just our country alone, who are considered to be, we'll go with political and entertainment, for instance, they make a lot of money and they make decisions based upon what they want to happen. How many political people and entertainment in the industry, basically, I'm trying to figure out what I'm trying to say because my phone's going off and I got to get going here. The more money you have, you can do whatever you want. That's the bottom line. That's what it is. And let's take Elvis and Priscilla, for instance. Huge age gap. No one cared. Let's take, for instance, the Duggars. No one cared. Why? Because they were famous and they were on TV. So they were overlooked for years for what happened in that house. I'm sorry. I understand that that's their religious view. I get it. But a child raising another child, makes no sense to me when there's parents there.
Mhm.
It's
Think about
all a
this.
conspiracy. They
What was
decide what we do and what we don't do.
what was that? Who did the song? She's just 16 years old. I don't even remember. She's just 16 years old. Like everyone
Oh,
listened to that
or
song.
ride home or
It's a
something like that.
pedophile song.
Yeah, yeah.
Pedophile
Oh my
song.
God, isn't that? No, it's not Duran Duran. What?
I want to say it was like Journey, but it's not.
But I hate to
Uh,
say this, but I've actually got to get going. It's been about an hour here, so I've got to log off. I'm sorry. I've got to make dinner.
It's okay, sweetie. Amanda, I'm so really thankful that you were able to make it today, and it's a pleasure to
Thank you.
have you.
I appreciate all of you.
Thank you
Thanks
so
for
much,
coming
and
out.
please come back again if you want. You can be on here every day.
Absolutely. Just have Grace send me a text. I'm more than happy to come on in and, I guess, voice my opinion.
Got it. I'm gonna have Grace send you a text for next week.
Sounds like a plan. All right. You guys all have a blessed night, okay?
You too, sweetheart.
You too. Thanks, Amanda.
See ya.
Bye, babe. Wow. Interesting, isn't it?
Sad.
This one says, Purple Lily says, social service told my children, she said, or he said, from UK. Jay said, liable equals lie minus able. And the United Kingdom is growing with children being removed. And in the United Kingdom, what I heard, and there was a lot of documentary out there, and children were speaking up in the documentary, actual children stating that the children were given to satanic worshipers, meaning they are used for blood. They're used because rituals. I'm not gonna say what's on the documentary video, but you guys should watch it. You can YouTube it if you like. Um, they said that certain type of color skin is used for sacrificial. Um, so basically, and the children were from CPS custody. So this is true stories from. This is like a reporter in the United Kingdom that was interviewing these kids, and this Satanist worshippers are it's everywhere in the United Kingdom. And honestly, I tell people all the time, if you have kids, leave the United States. But now you're looking at United Kingdom. That's not in the United States, but they sure do act Americans. I mean, that's the only, you know what I'm talking about, Stacey, right? Yeah.
You know, I was just looking up too when Amanda was talking about the uh, the entertainment industry, and I don't know if people know too. Um, Brooke Shields. I don't know if you can see this.
No, but I know Brooke Shields. Yeah.
Yep, Brooke Shields. She was 10 years old when they put her in a Playboy magazine and in nude photography.
Yep. She was only 10. Yep. And the thing is, was her mom, I mean,
Right. Who is, yeah.
there you go. Man, this is sad.
It's a sad state.
I wasn't even allowed to wear skirts without shorts underneath it, okay? Or tights. I wasn't allowed to walk out of the house like that. My dad would have like, nope, gotta go back in, put some tights on or shorts. I mean, you know what I
Same,
mean? Like, yeah,
same here.
yeah. So it's kind of nowadays is it's ew nasty. They're nasty. They're nasty. Hey guys, the sunlight was hitting my camera earlier. I can't help it. It's right here.
Beautiful California sunlight, Miss
I
G.
know, I know. I can't help it. But Grace, I just read Grace's private message. She goes, "The sunlight is hitting your camera lens. It makes your picture look blurry and pinkish." Yeah.
Miss G, you'd look beautiful even if a garbage bag was over your window.
Thank you, babe. You're so nice to me, Stacy. You're so sweet. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank
You
you.
deserve it, Miss G.
Thank you, baby. Thank you
Your
so
heart's
much.
in the right place.
Thank you so much. Thank you. But honestly, I think everyone should honestly get an attorney as soon as possible, guys. I don't know how it is in the United Kingdom, Purple Lily, but I haven't found attorneys in the United Kingdom. I've been trying to search for attorneys for a long time in other states, other countries that have CPS. But
Purple
United,
Lily, maybe you should
huh?
ask them what license they have to diagnose mental health issues if you don't listen to them.
Yeah, okay, that's a good question. I hope you heard that, Purple Lily. Hi. The thing is, they say that here too in California. They say in New York, they say, oh, they have mental health, but they must. We all have mental health because we live in America. I mean, that
Miss
has to be
G,
the reason then.
to work for CPS, you have to have mental health problems.
Yeah, exactly. So they think everybody has mental health. That's crazy. Yep. See, even in United Kingdom, no, my lawyer seems to be on the social worker side. Purple Lily in California, in New York, in Pennsylvania, in Kansas City, in Kentucky, all these places in the United States are the same way because your attorney gets paid by the United Kingdom's whatever government. That's why. Yeah, she said, he said, or they said that to the social worker, and they still accused him or her. We don't get lawyers like Vince in the United Kingdom. Yeah, I understand that. I wish there was lawyers like Vince everywhere in the world. I swear. I can't believe I just said that. Yeah, but lawyers like Vince, but not, you know, like he's a great attorney though. He's a pain in my butt though. Can't help
Well,
him.
hopefully he's a bigger pain in the butt to all these kidnappers.
He is a bigger pain in the butt to all these
Then
kidnappers.
there we
Way
go.
more than my, yeah,
But
yeah.
he needs to be nice to you, Miss G. You deserve niceness.
You tell him that.
I do.
He does it on purpose. He does it on purpose because every time I tell him stop it, he starts laughing. He starts laughing.
See, he
So
thinks it's funny when he gets a rise out of you, Miss G.
yeah, I know, right? I know, I know,
Now you have to throw him off and be really cold and callous
I
when
know,
he's not
right?
expecting it.
Oh my god, I think he would be shocked if I'm like cool.
He wouldn't
Like
know
you
what
know
to
who's
do.
cool all the time? Grace. Grace is like so cool. Like, Grace is like the cool cat, you know? She like I could be jumping up and down like Grace. She's like, okay.
Switch
Okay.
it up, Miss G. Switch it up and confuse everyone and see how dumbfounded they act.
I know, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that. But just he needs a cool cat like that. Yep. I think that would piss him off actually if you're cool.
I'll give you
I,
$20.
I know, $20 it is. It's all over social media now. Oh my god. So Purple Lily said, have you seen Mrs. What? From Norway? Katriji from Norway? No, Norway? And then Bollywood movie based on a true it's a Bollywood movie. Uh Based on a true story. No, I haven't seen that. I would like to see it. I wonder what kind of true story it is. Which one? Is it about CPS? I would like to know. Do you want to see that movie? We can have a movie night. Did you hear me, Stacy?
Sounds good to me, Miss G.
Yeah, I'm gonna see that movie. Have you heard of that movie, Stacy?
No?
I would like to know what it is. I just found out. I just got an email um, from one of our clients. Told me who that Peter person is.
Oh.
Oh, the Peter person doesn't know that there are people in their world that knows them. Oh Lord. Mm-mm-mm. Purple Lily said Bollywood movie based on a true case. Okay, awesome. I want to see it now. Um, what?
Yeah. We are the government and we are here to help. Scary.
Social services are there to help you. Say what?
She's giving advice. Once a lawyer says that social services are basically good people, you better change your lawyer.
Oh yeah, yeah. You must watch about social services in Norway. Oh my God, I heard Norway is bad too. You know what, you guys? I didn't know that CPS existed anywhere else in the world until this year. I didn't know this. This is
Look,
crazy. This is insane.
look at you, Miss G. You got an international following.
I can't believe that. Norway and United Kingdom. Um, JV said the link I sent you is about a young boy who went missing and she calls them out on a child trafficking. Link up with her and Bay Area Transparency. What? Hey Jay, can you send me the link? I don't know where you sent me the link on Facebook or was it my email address? Please let me know. I really, really, really want to see that. Did you hear what? Did you read what he wrote, or she or it wrote? It's about child trafficking in Norway using CPS as well. So CPS is under a. Oh my God, it's a fictitious name. Oh my God, I don't see the link, honey. I don't have a link. You're gonna have to email it to me, Jay. You have to email it to me. I'm gonna send you an email from here. Hold on. Miss G email SGAT at Vincent W Davis.com. Okay, I just sent you a message. Um there is no link, Jay. Okay, it's the YouTube video. I don't see it. Yeah, I just wrote a comment. It didn't go through. Why is that? Must be a full moon today. Okay, Jay, did you get my email address, my dear? I hope you got it. We need to research on all the other countries that have CPS, Stacey. I know Norway now, United Kingdom.
There was something about the white papers in Britain and with the Britain Prime Minister, and then the United States followed kind of suit, and the whole thing was designed basically for trafficking children.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can find that. I'll get it to you.
Yeah. I know that if you watch the documentary that I was telling you about, United Kingdom, all the children, um, all the girls. Yeah.
You know, the person to ask about the white papers, because the way I know about it is from Connie Reguli, who
I'm
was
sorry.
following that.
I'm sorry. What did he say?
Connie Reguli, you know, the attorney Connie, she's on the show sometimes.
Oh, she's yes.
She was following the white papers from Britain, and that's how some of our CPS stuff was following, and our CAPTA, CAPTA. That kind of came. It was kind of copied from the white papers in Britain, the Prime Minister.
Oh.
So that's why it's a worldwide thing, because we copied what other countries are doing to traffic children.
There's a lot of crap going on, and oh my God. So this is the easiest way to is this the easiest way to steal children now? Just to traffic them?
I
I mean,
thought mortgage foreclosure fraud was a big deal. They're trafficking children.
oh my God.
Hmm.
Did you read the article about the infant that was tied? They tied her arm to her poor baby. God may God.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
horrible.
they tied her arm to her back, and how many men?
Enough.
It was a lot of men
No,
and the baby cried from pain.
I'm sure.
Yeah, the baby cried from pain. And if this doesn't get us mad, I don't know. I don't know what will. Purple Lily said social services broke in with police because I sent email complaints about the social service. Do you see that? Do you
This
see?
just this just happened near us in New York, in Syracuse, I think it was. And unfortunately, when they put it on social media, they had police up on ladders entering this person's home from the second floor to extract children from their home. And you wouldn't believe the comments from the community like, oh, great job.
This is so disgusting. I swear, honest to God, um, it makes me want to vomit. It really does make me want to vomit over and over again. This is happening in Carolina, North Carolina, is happening in Texas, is happening in everywhere in the world now. Well, I don't know everywhere in the world, but some places out of the country. Um, this is why people are so scared to fight and complain before children are removed. Well, whether you complain or not, babe,
We're taking them.
you're taking them. That's what people don't understand. If you're a celebrity, so everybody should be a celebrity. Everybody should be a movie star.
But even that's not true, Miss G. They get so bold because look at what happened to Britney Spears. I mean, that's not a child abduction case, but I mean, Britney was essentially kidnapped. That's kidnapping what they did to her and took guardianship of her and made her work like a slave. So they did that to an adult with capacity. Just think of the things they're doing to children.
Actually, Britney
And
Spears' dad did that to her.
right, but well, the courts kept allowing it,
And they kept the courts. Well, because the dad, I'm sure, had something to do with the
but they were
courts.
all stealing her money.
Yeah,
You
it's all
know.
about money. I mean, I'm sure he paid heavy,
So
heavy,
I'm
heavy,
saying though,
heavy
it's
price.
like they're getting so bold. They're even going after people with money because they're so bold. And that's when you talk about narcissism. The thing about narcissists is that they don't know where to stop, so they keep going and going.
Uh, okay. So I read something. Didn't Britney's sister get her legal things back? I don't know what that means.
Yeah, I don't know either.
I don't know. I don't know anything. Michelle, I don't know anything about that, baby. Yeah, I have no idea. Wait a minute. Who is this person? I've never seen this person before. Um, yeah. So I guess the only thing I can tell you guys, me and Stacy, is that it's not just happening in the United States. It's happening now in most parts of the country now.
The world.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
happening in the world. A lot of narcissists in health and social care. A lot. Yes. Yeah.
I'm in healthcare, but I do agree.
Yeah. In the court system, in the district
Hmm.
attorney
Yeah.
offices,
Police,
at the
police.
police department, they're the, oh my God. Like I used to say, may God have mercy on their souls. And I'm like, God, I can't pray for my enemies. I can't. They're horrible beings. I mean, even God talks about narcissism in the Bible, dude. If you guys go to the Bible, it mentions about narcissists. Um, it's crazy. It's crazy, crazy, crazy. But it does happen because usually the ones who are not narcissists and they have compassion and common sense, they don't last in the system. They don't want them in there because they can't abide by their rules. Remember that. They will tell you to get out of the department. Yep, they are Satan's army. You are so right. May God bless you, Purple Lily. They are Satan's army. I call them well, first of all, I call the courthouses the whorehouses.
Yeah.
I call attorneys, court appointed attorneys, I call them the devil's playground. And I don't want to tell you what I call judges, but only God knows that. But they're pretty much the devil's playground, all of them. Facts. That's right, baby. They are facts. Um, they are Satan's army, that's for sure. But yeah, you could even be married to a narcissist and you didn't even know. And that's the reason why your children are sniffed from you.
I didn't know what a narcissist was until a
You
few
had to
years into
marry
my
them.
marriage.
Yeah. Yeah. A few years into the marriage. You don't know right away.
No.
I didn't know what a narcissist was until, yeah, a few years into my marriage too. You guys don't know the narcissist that you deal with in life. You could have a neighbor who's a narcissist. You can have a neighbor who's a narcissist. And
All
they
right.
just hate you for no reason because you're a happy person. Narcissists hate happy people. You know, they hate
Now,
happy people.
Miss Carolina, I talk to Misty, and I say this on the show a lot. There aren't many attorneys like Mr. Davis and some
Mm.
of his other colleagues, but many attorneys really work for the other side.
Yep. Even the private attorneys. Many of the
Yeah.
private attorneys work for the other side.
My private attorneys absolutely did.
Yeah.
They fraudulently concealed evidence from the record.
Yep.
I hired an expert witness and paid $5,000 for his report, and they refused to
True.
admit it into evidence because it said all the ways that CPS screwed up and all the conflicts of interest in the case that shouldn't have occurred.
They always do that. Same thing with me. They refused. Why?
Yeah,
Because it's in the woman's favor.
yeah,
So it's crazy. It's crazy. I tell you, when the father is the abuser, he gets his children.
yeah.
The father is innocent and the mother is the abuser, she gets her children.
Right.
I'm telling you right now, this has nothing to do with anything other than evil
Money
supports evil. That's why they're demonic. You have to be possessed to hurt children.
and money.
Well, money. Well, in the Bible, God tells us that love of money is the root of all evil. You can, have money. Having money is not evil, but the love of it, the love of it, meaning you love money more than you love others. That's the root of all evil, because you will sell your soul, you will sell your sister, your brother, your kids just for that money. That's what evil loving money is. That is so true. I mean, I'm learning so much in life as I grow. um I was left and I left for 13 years. That's how the problem started. I was married to a devil that appeared like, yep. Oh my god.
Deceptive.
Oh, they are so, and you could be working with one too. Like you could be somebody could be with me, and not you, but I've had narcissist co-host with me before. When I found that, I was like, you're done. I'm over. It's over. Yeah. You learn how to sniff him now. You learn from previous experiences. The Paul guy is a narcissist. I really know who he is. So it's sad. Um, but yeah, he's a narcissist. But I'm just letting you guys know that narcissism is actually the trait of Satan. It's satanic. And it could be women or men. So, but the majority of it is men. They did a study, they said 1% is women, the rest is men. I couldn't believe that, but it's true. Men are very narcissistic. Men are very charming. Lily, I don't know if yours was a covert, but covert is usually the worst type of narcissism there is. Lily's Ma said so much so that it's overwhelming when you meet a, yeah, compassionate person in a position of power, because they are so few and far in between. Did you know that a lot of women that I speak with over the phone, they tell me, Miss G, believe me. And when I tell them I believe them and I cry with them, they cry so hard and telling me that they can't believe I believe them. That's how desperate they are. When I was in your shoes, no one heard me. No one. Because a narcissist is so believable. They're so believable. And the only way to win against a narcissist in court is by facts. You never attack them. You always attack them in court in a subtle way by using facts, dates, times, depending on what the accusations is. That's why I tell everyone, if you don't know you're dealing with a narcissist, save all your receipts. They're time stamped. If you go to the gas station, you go to the market, you go anywhere, save them and put them according to the dates and a month in a separate box or whatever. But save everything because you don't know what's going to happen along the way. I have boxes and boxes of receipts, and they're labeled by month. So November, December, January, February, March, like that, year. Because if anybody says, this happened on this day, I'll be like, okay, well, let me check this day where I was. Let me check the time, right? Or you can write journal every day. I also write journal. Like at 1:35 the show started. Doing the show at 1:35 p.m. blah blah.
Where
Or
in the hell is Stacy?
yeah, and then I wrote down where the hell is Stacy, at 1:40 p.m. Okay? Yeah, stuff like that. I know Stacy. Where the hell is she? I do that. Oh my God. Sorry, Stacy.
Love you, Miss G.
I love you too so much. I love you more than you think. Um, Purple Lily said he has covert. Oh, he was covert. No emotion, no empathy. Didn't seem human at all. Oh my God, you definitely married a covert. They don't seem. They're so cold. You can mention. They can see blood gushing out of your neck. I swear to God, and they'll be like, interesting. Yeah, that's how cold they are. Yeah, they will beat you up when you're pregnant and go eat dinner and watch TV like nothing happened. Like you're not screaming for pain. Usually, a covert narcissist is a man of power. Usually, people of power, meaning in the police department, fire department, in district attorney offices, and in the court system, that's what they love. They love power. Covert narcissist craves power and control. So they're not gonna just be any. It's not gonna be just any career. He's not gonna work for McDonald's. That's all I'm saying. He's not. He wants something where he can control the public. That's what a covert narcissist is. They're extremely dangerous. Yep. Really cold and demonic for sure. Yep. Yep. So basically, you guys have to study psychology. I swear, I'm not joking you. Yeah. And then, yeah. And it says, unfortunately, the number of narcissists is increasing because this society is breeding
There's
them.
definitely an
Rotate.
increase of entitlement than anything I ever grew up with.
Yep. And that's also mentioned in the Bible. Mentioned in the Bible. You guys, if you want to read the correct Bible, the original Bible, get this one from Amazon. This is the Orthodox Bible. Okay, get this from Amazon. Um, my priest gave me this Bible from church when I went, but this one I found out it's on Amazon as well. Get this Bible, I'm telling you. This Bible will help you study the Bible a lot better. A lot better. Accurate facts, no missing pages, no missing chapters. It's a good Bible. Um, but it's increasing more so because people don't believe it's the end of time is coming up. It's like we're literally almost there. The devil uses people to distract us, confuse, and abuse to get in your head. That's why they say, what would possess someone? That's true. What would possess someone? Yeah, people don't understand, and I don't, I'm gonna say this. When you're dealing with a demonic spirit, even though the Bible tells us you're not fighting against flesh and blood, even though you want to fight that flesh and blood, it's because they're possessed by a demon. Demons, legions of demons, like multiple demons, multiple. So a demon needs a body to nest in it. They cannot roam earth without a body. That's why, if you guys recall the miracle of Jesus, one of the miracles he made when he took the demons out of this boy's body, and the demons begged him to, throw them in the pig swan, and He put them there because they cannot just be thrown on earth like that. They have to be in something. Do you guys understand what I'm saying? Do you get what I'm saying, Stacy? They have to be in a body, in something. They can't just roam earth like that. They're always seeking, seeking whomever they devour. They may devour. They have to seek. And they have so many different strategy. Their strategy is so, it's like they meet up and they like, okay, well, did you win? Did you get through this person? What did you use? I use this, I use this, I use,
Mm.
okay, well, you need to change your strategy. You need to use this yeah,
They all do have the same playbook.
yeah, it's the same thing. And people fall in the trap over and over and over again. Like this Peter guy earlier, the one that wrote that sexual message, a disgusting message, to us, all three ladies that were in the show together. Um, to me, that's not a normal behavior. That's not from God. That's a demon.
Yeah.
And be a demon.
Especially, Miss G, we're on here and we're discussing children, and to
Yep,
put sexualized comments on a show about children is the epitome of
yep, yep.
culpable, gross.
Here is the show that the comment that he put. This is the Paul Peters guy person says, you guys read it. But this
Yeah.
is, this is not acceptable. But I blocked him anyways. This is not acceptable. But I know who the person is. So again, this is not an act of from a person that has God in their heart at all. This person is a demon 100%.
We know his secrets, Miss G.
Oh, I believe me. God reveals people to me, and I love that. And I think that's why they hate it so much, because I know who they are. And they're like, how it's like discernment, baby. When you're with God, God gives you discernment, and God gives you others, who's on your side, who actually reveals the real truth as well. So God uses people to reveal the truth to godly people. So don't think that God is asleep. I'm protected. That's why it doesn't. I used to get hurt by stuff like that, but now it's kind of like, it's it doesn't hurt me anymore, because I really know that person is possessed by a demon. That person is jealous. Only a jealous person would go on somebody's show and write comments like that, and have to use a different name because they're cowards. They don't want to reveal who they are, and that's why they're in deep shit, because they're cowards. They have such enough time to hurt other people because of jealousy, but they're not focused on their own children, fighting for them.
Right. We're too busy, Miss G. We move on and we do big things.
Yeah, and that's exactly why I'm not upset anymore, because
Yeah.
I really know they're useless. There's absolutely nothing in them that's even worth even looking at them, to be honest with you. Yes, disgusting. Thank you so much. That's what that person wrote earlier. And what did you say the Latin word for, what was it? Paul?
It's Paulum. Paulum means small. Paul. The
Yeah, so Paul in Latin means small. So poor
Mhm.
Paul.
Like
Hopefully,
forma pauperis, small.
yeah, yeah.
Your poor paup.
You poor thing.
Yeah.
But I love the message you sent to you gave him. Oh my god, I love that. Yeah, you might. I'm not gonna say it again because you are so sweet and you're like very, gentle. So you don't just say things unless you really necessarily have to. You just don't just blab out stuff. I'm the one who's like, hey, don't do that. You're like kind of like, but you did the job today, Stacey. Thank you for that.
I was happy to too. I was like, hold on, hold on, hold on. I got this one.
Yeah, she was like, don't say it, Miss J. I got it. I
I
got it.
got it. I got you this time.
In my mind, Stacey, I was kind of like, she's not gonna get it. She's not. That's why I was speaking over you. Like, I felt like saying, Stacey, I don't think you understand. And then when you said it, I'm like, oh, my girl gets it. She got it. My girl got it. She got it. Oh my god. Okay, guys. So, to, I guess I will see you guys. Me and Stacey will see you guys next week. Hopefully, Stacey's gonna be with us. She's not gonna be at work. or if she is at work, um, she usually does the last half an hour with me. You know, for those you guys are new to the show, she's a physician assistant in New York, so she's needed in the ER. I get selfish sometimes, and she's like, Miss G, I'm with like an injured person. I'm like, I don't care. I'm just kidding, just kidding, just kidding. I'm teasing. But yeah, she's busy. She's a busy bee. Carolina said my own mom was the one that got me out there, and she was the one that helped them do. Oh my God.
They get that way.
Carolina, that doesn't surprise me.
Yeah.
It doesn't surprise me whatsoever.
All right, Miss G.
Oh my God. Okay. See
Yeah.
you guys next week. Wait, are you going to be on tonight?
Sure.
Okay, see you guys tonight. If you guys want to watch the Vincent show with Stacy and myself, it's at 7 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. How to fight CPS and when. That's the name of the show. How to fight CPS and when at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. God bless you all. And Jay, you're God bless you, sweetheart. God bless all of you guys. And if you guys need me, call the office number, the 888-888-6582, and ask for Miss G. I'll be happy to speak with you. All right. Ciao. Bye, Stacy.